Ahead at 5, the battle for control of Gainesville's utilities continues. We'll tell you about the fight going all the way to the state.
Plus, a rezoned school boundary map is about to become final. We'll tell you why some parents are against the proposed changes.
And new updates after a railroad ties caught fire in Denellen. The legal action county leaders are taking against the companies involved. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
We begin with breaking news out of Marion County, where in the last 90 minutes we learned the charges against a child battery suspect were upgraded to murder. This is WFT's First at 5. I'm Carolina Tortorelli.
And I'm Carle. We first reported the death of Paisley Brown and the arrest of Jerome Combs late last month. Here's what we know. The medical examiner finished the autopsy on the 3-year-old on February 24th. Investigators interviewed Combs and say he admitted to tying up the girl's hands and feet and dropping her on the ground. He was initially charged with aggravated child abuse, but was upgraded to second-degree murder today. He's in the Marion County Jail with no bond.
What went through my head is here we go again.
Local utility customers are sounding the alarm over an attempt to block the city of Gainesville from taking over control of GRU. This comes after the Florida House advanced a bill to the Senate, which would overturn a referendum vote from November's election. WUFT's Nicole Beltran is live from GRU headquarters. Nicole, you spoke to neighbors about how the proposed bill would impact their utilities bill.
Carolina, Ciara, one Gainesville customer tells me she believes the move is targeted to only Gainesville customers. It's a sentiment that Mayor Harvey Ward also shares after he sent a letter to the Florida legislature pushing back against the amendment. When Janice Gary isn't working on her 1,000-piece puzzle, she's advocating against state control over Gainesville regional utilities.
We think our municipal utility should be governed by our local leaders.
Gary is an active voice in the GRU debate. When she heard the latest development in the House,
fully by surprise. It caught us fully by surprise.
Gary says Gainesville residents weren't a part of the conversation.
It went straight to the legislature and was passed without our input.
House Bill 1451 aims to organize how local utilities operate. But the latest version voted on states any regional utilities authority created by Florida legislature through a charter amendment after January 1st, 2023 is preempted to the state, which means control over the GRU authority would remain with the state since they were appointed in 2023. Late last month, Mayor Harvey Ward sent a letter to the state asking to consider removing the amendment, also claiming it only targets Gainesville. In an email to WUFT News, GRU officials told us they're pleased with the legislature's decision and will continue to provide safe, reliable, and affordable utility services. A claim Gary says does not reflect her experience, yet she remains hopeful a Senate version of the bill does not have the language attached to it. The bill is currently in the state Senate in a second reading. We will keep you updated on its movement through the state legislature. Live in Gainesville, I'm Nicole Beltran, WUFT News.
We are feeling the impacts of the unseasonably dry weather right in our front lawns. Neighbors across Alachua, Marion, and Putnam counties are now under a Phase 2 water shortage. Under the upgraded restriction, neighbors can only water their lawns 1 day a week. Water management officials are encouraging you to use as little water as possible. UO forecaster Jadyn Bottini joins us in the weather studio, tracking some much-needed rain on the way later this week.
Well, we can see why those water restrictions are being upgraded. Just look at our rainfall data here. We're still about over 4 inches below where we should be for the year. That means from January 1st until today, March 4th, we are 4 inches under the amount of rainfall we should be seeing at this time of year. Regardless, though, we've been having some beautiful days here in Gainesville. Looks like a summer sky out there today. Blue skies, some fluffy clouds. Those temperatures in the 80s. We're at 82 degrees right now. Winds at 9 miles per hour, and things really just continue to heat up in the afternoon. Our lows are in the 60s in the mornings now. We were in the 50s. Now we're even warmer than that. And then later into tomorrow for our afternoon highs, 87 in Gainesville and Ocala and the Villages, 81 in Jacksonville, 74 in St. Augustine. So we're really just continuing to increase our temperatures each day. And what can we expect this week? Well, near record heat towards the end of the week. It's still monitoring our extreme drought conditions, some end of the week showers, and we're springing ahead this weekend.
More breaking news, this time out of Gainesville. Gainesville police says it will sign an agreement with ICE, though it's not clear when. The 287G agreement would allow some law enforcement officers to act as ICE agents. GPD PIO Art 4G clarified the department's intent to sign after rumors spread that it would hold off.
It's a requirement by the state that has to be signed. We believe that it's not within the best interest of our community to sign that. We don't agree with it, and we're not going to enforce customs law, but we have to sign it.
4G says the agreement will not change how officers police the community once it's signed. All 67 counties in the state, including Alachua County, have signed ICE agreements. The NAACP are among the local organizations continuing to push for answers from Alachua County public school officials. Their efforts involve the debated school rezoning plan. In a letter sent to WUFT today, the organization's leaders say they held 2 town hall meetings last month and no reps from the district attended. Neighbors on the east side of town say they want direct answers from the district on the proposal to close or consolidate schools on that side of town. They believe the families on the east side will be the most impacted by the changes. The organization is asking the school board to address their questions before an official action is taken. We reached out to the school board for a response to the NAACP claims. We're waiting to hear back. To see the full list of the organization's questions to the school board, head to our website, WUFT.org.
And speaking of the rezoning plan, the Alachua County School District is set to vote on new school boundary maps next week, making the changes many parents fear permanent. WFT's Natalia Marquez tells us why the plan is putting the school community on edge.
We are somebody. We are somebody.
Unseen, frustrated, disappointed. That's how some guardians, teachers, and students feel about possible rezoning in Alachua County.
Thinking you know what's best for a community instead of listening to that community is a mistake.
The source of the tension is the school board's upcoming vote on a district-wide rezoning plan. It could close some schools like Stephen F. Foster, forcing parents and guardians to move their children to others.
I don't know if you all really feel it, but it's not a good feeling. And you really need to take your time and slow down.
Parents like Jancy Vincent say there's a lack of communication from the school board and that things are moving too fast.
You're rushing for what reason? Less than 4 months you made a decision to close schools and also zoning, unfair zoning, I see. It's not fair.
According to district leaders, rezoning is an effort to correct enrollment levels under new state guidelines. They say it just comes down to efficiency. The board didn't make any decisions at Tuesday's meeting. Alachua County community members have to wait until next Thursday for a final vote on the issue. Reporting in Gainesville, Natalia Marquez, WUFT News.
And nearly 1 month after these rail ties caught on fire in Denellen, Marion County commissioners are taking legal action against the companies they say are responsible. County leaders are seeking an injunction against CSX, Trackline Rail, and Florida Northern Railroad. Commissioners say this comes as railroad ties are still sitting in Denellen. As of this week, nearly 5,000 rail ties not impacted by the fire were removed from the site. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection says the remaining ties will be removed in the coming days.
Supply and demand may be ever-changing, but the need for local charm can't be replaced. Coming up, we'll tell you how local small businesses are keeping that community spirit alive. Plus, drivers are getting ready to burn rubber at the annual Gator Nationals event. We'll tell you how you can enjoy the race when we come back.
You're watching WUFT News.
Local chain restaurants often come and go, but many local small businesses have kept their charm throughout the years.
WFT's Sydnie Espro takes a look into what keeps the spark alive, regardless of the economy.
In a city like Gainesville, small businesses aren't just storefronts, they're the heartbeat for the community. I was able to speak with small business owners, and they said that they make sure no matter what the economy looks like, their heartbeat is pumping in the city. Owning a small business may come with uncertainty. Just ask Grace Cackmiss. Her parents started 43rd Street Deli and Breakfast House. She cooks to continue their legacy.
The ups and downs, I think that comes with the territory of owning a restaurant, but I would say since the pandemic, we've been the busiest we've ever been.
Director of the Economic Analysis Program at the University of Florida, Hector Sandoval, says small businesses can take hits in any economic climate, especially in times of economic downturn.
The economy is slowing down. Yeah, they can be affected by that because at the end they still need to pay salaries. They have some cost, and at the end, they don't have much profit margins.
Cacmus says local support keeps her breakfast house alive.
I don't think this would be possible without the Gainesville community and really our regulars. Without our regulars, we probably wouldn't be here, honestly.
Gainesville is a college town, so thousands of students are coming and going throughout the year, and local small businesses have to prepare for those changes. You'll find Humblewood Fire Bagel Shop at 4th Ave Food Park near UF's campus.
Order for Charles.
General Manager Ciara Cravata says the college crowd keeps the kitchen serving.
Summer semester does affect us. Winter break does affect us. That's when we get a little bit slower.
Both say when economic challenges come up, the best thing to do is adapt. Throughout the past few years, many national chains have shut down in Gainesville. The small business owners that I spoke with today said that as long as the locals and the students keep showing them love, keep showing what is unique about the community, that they will be doing just fine. Live in Gainesville, Sydnie Espro, WUFT News.
We're finally getting into the upper 80s in north central Florida. More about how we may be tying record high temperatures ahead.
You're watching WUFT News.
An artist is taking up the call to restore Tom Petty's mural. The original mural on 34th Street was covered up last week by a UF student organization. Harry Michael worked on the mural today, referencing the original mural painted by the late local artist Blake Harrison. Harrison maintained the mural from 2018 until his passing in 2024 after a battle with cancer. His friend Elizabeth Hernandez coordinated the effort to restore it.
His art means a lot to this community, and he is very much missed, and there is a lot of passion and love for him to restore this in his honor.
Hernandez says repainting the mural should only take a few weekends.
And get ready to rev those engines because Gator Nationals begins tomorrow. The drag racing event is put on by the National Hot Rod Association. It's held right here in Gainesville and has been going on since 1970. This year's festivities will run from March 5th to March 8th. You can purchase your tickets online. General parking is available for everyone, and preferred parking can be purchased for $40 a day. Guys, drag racing has to be one of the coolest sports ever.
I know, I'm so excited that this is taking place, and I'm also excited that the weather has been looking so nice lately.
I mean, it's going to be a perfect weekend for this race. We've been seeing sunny skies, almost summer-like days, and that's really going to continue into the weekend. We're going to get a few showers heading into the weekend, but overall, we've just been seeing beautiful days. And look at campus right now. It is beautiful, blue skies, fluffy white clouds. You would think it's summer out here, but we're only in spring. That temperature's at 82 degrees, winds at 9 miles per hour, and we're in the 80s across north central Florida right now. 82 in Gainesville, 82 in Ocala as well, 74 in Jacksonville, staying in the 60s near St. Augustine. But overall, a beautiful week is what we've been seeing, and this evening's the same. We'll be at 79 degrees at 6 p.m., mostly clear skies, really just a clear evening ahead. 71 degrees at 8 p.m., 10 p.m. we're at 68 degrees, and our lows into tomorrow morning gonna be in the lower 60s. We've been seeing lows in the 50s, but now we're in the 60s, so we're just gonna continue to increase our temperatures a little bit each day. We're at 61 in Gainesville tomorrow morning, 62 in Ocala and the Villages, 60 in St. Augustine as well, and some patchy fog is possible tomorrow morning. Our high temperatures tomorrow afternoon in the upper 80s, 87 in Gainesville, 87 in Ocala and the Villages as well. We're just creeping closer to 90 degrees, and it's getting hot. And we're even going to tie some records heading into the weekend. Tomorrow, again, our forecasted high is 87 degrees. It's 87 on Friday as well, but that's our record high for Friday. And our record high for Saturday is 88 degrees, and we're forecasted to hit both of those on Friday and Saturday. So it's going to be a hot weekend, but beautiful skies. Of course, we're still monitoring our drought. Look at our rainfall data from the year. This is January 1st until today, March 4th. We're 4 inches below where we should be, and the amount of rainfall we should have gotten since January 1st. Of course, we're still monitoring extreme drought conditions across north central Florida, all the way down as south as the Villages, but the entirety of the state is under drought conditions, mostly extreme and severe, moderate in central Florida because they've seen a little bit more rain. We've been forecasting rain, but just not enough to saturate our soil. And here's our future cast, what we can look for rain this weekend. Here it is tomorrow at noon. Some clouds are going to roll in, some showers likely west of I-75, down south near Sarasota, but things clear up pretty quickly. We could get a couple of isolated showers on Saturday, but nothing too much, and again, not the significant rain we need. Of course, as we head into spring, we're watching that pollen forecast. Pollen's expected to be high throughout the rest of the week. And for the rest of the week, it's going to be beautiful out there. Some clouds roll in, but those highs in the upper 80s, lows in the 60s, and don't forget to set your clocks forward into the weekend.
Coming up in sports, Florida baseball is in the middle of an in-state gauntlet as they want to continue their domination in the Sunshine State. And on the hardwood, it's been Gators versus Bulldogs for nearly a full day straight. We'll show you how the Gators handled the challenge coming up after the break.
You're watching WUFT News.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Luis Rodriguez Combe. The bats are getting hotter in Condron Family Ballpark as the Gators are trying to make quick work of an in-state rival. WUFT's David Lopez is live from the stadium to tell us about a key factor in the last night's game and how that can carry on to today's matchup.
Thank you, Luis. The story of Gators baseball the past couple of weeks has been a pitching staff that seems to have overcome some of the issues that plagued it the past couple of seasons. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan says he's happy that his bullpen is finally figuring things out.
Everybody did their job, and I noticed that on Thursday I was putting together the pitching in a hotel and just trying to line up the weekend pitching-wise and see what it might look like. And it really dawned on me at that point that I'm really starting to see the bullpen start to come together.
And what was a mostly quiet night for Gator hitters, Brennan Lawson had a loud crack off the bat, hitting his 5th home run of the season to dead center field, making it 2-zip for the Gators at that point. Then 4 Gator pitchers combined to complete the shutout, making it a 4-0 win over FAU. That gave the Gators a 12-game win streak, which they could make 13 tonight when they're playing at Condron Family Ballpark against FAMU. The Gators are looking to clean up their rotation before heading into SEC play next week against South Carolina, and Kevin O'Sullivan will send Luke McNeely to the mound for the Gators looking for another win over the Rattlers. First pitch will be at 6:30 p.m. Reporting from Condron Family Ballpark, David Lopez, WUFT Sports.
Moving on to the hardwood, Florida women's basketball tipped off its SEC tournament run today against Mississippi State, looking to carry momentum into postseason play. The Gators never trailed despite a slow shooting start, forcing early turnovers and taking control with a strong second quarter. Liv McGill led the way with 22 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, Miara O'Neal added 22 points, helping the 12-seed Gators roll at 86-68 victory, the largest margin of victory for Florida in an SEC tournament game. Florida now advances to the second round, where the Gators will play number 7 Oklahoma tomorrow at 1:30. The 5th-ranked Florida Gators celebrate more than just a win. Senior night just became a night full with achievement, highlighted by Florida's dominant performance against Mississippi State. Florida claimed the SEC regular season title outright with a commanding 108-74 win over the Bulldogs. Alex Conda led the way with 26 points, while 6 Gators finished with double figures. It was a special night for the seniors. Xavier Lee posted 19 points, and Micah Hantlogden made his first start in nearly 2 years, finishing with 10 points and 9 rebounds. Center Ruben Chinjulu recorded his 18th double-double of the season, tying the Florida single record set in 1976. And after the final buzzer, athletic director Scott Strickland presented Todd Golden with a game ball, marking his 100th career win as Florida's head coach. Golden credited the milestone not to himself, but to the people that surround him.
I feel really fortunate to have the staff I have. We give guys a lot of responsibility. We got a lot of talented guys. They do a really good job of taking care of their business. I'm proud of the organization that we have and what we're doing, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon.
Todd Golden's path to 100 wins has been historic, from a record-setting debut to signature wins over top-ranked teams and a national championship. With Tuesday's victory over Mississippi State, Golden became the fastest coach in Florida basketball history to reach 100 wins, doing it in just 139 games. High school baseball is heating up across the Gainesville area. Several high school teams are back on the diamond looking to build momentum early in the season. It's a 3-6 matchup in Jacksonville as the Santa Fe Raiders will take on the Episcopal School Eagles in just a couple minutes. Then a doubleheader at 7 p.m. when the Bulldogs Bobcats will try to turn things around after a rough start when they travel to Ocala and battle the 8-1 Trinity Catholic Celtics. Meanwhile, PK Young will try to ride the blue wave at home against a 4-5 Hawthorne Hornets. Finally, number 3 Florida men's golf team wrap up play at the Southern Highlands Collegiate, finishing 5th overall in a really strong field. The Gators now turn their focused attention to 2 more tournaments before heading to Sea Island, Georgia for the SEC Championship in April. And that's all for sports. Jadyn will have a final look at weather coming up after the break.
As the weather takes a turn, Gainesville's Downtown Market Series is returning just in time for your weekend plans. The Spring Market Series will feature merchants, music, and arts. If you're interested in attending, the festivities will kick off this Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. at the Streetery. If you can't make it this time, the Market Series will run each weekend through April 5th. Let's turn it over to UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini for a final look at our weekend forecast.
We have a chance for some isolated showers tomorrow, mostly west of I-75, but overall we're looking at a beautiful rest of our week. Those highs in the upper 80s, lows in the 60s, and don't forget to spring your clocks forward this weekend.
Thanks for joining. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
Have a great night and enjoy that warm weather we've been having.